How can you define richness? How do you define richness? I am rich because I got God in my life. What else? I have friends in my life who love me for who I am. I just wanted to add that because that's an important addition to that. What else?
4 kids who love me.
I have 4 kids. Hallelujah. And that loves you? I say you're doing something right, Mama. Because you don't have little ones. Yeah. But did you listen to what she said? She said, just today. That's living in the moment. Because the other day, they might not, but you know what? That might be because you're really having to be that mother, you know, and having to not be that friend, you know, and having to kind of help guide them, and they'll thank you 10 years from now kind of thing. But it's those kind of things. So I encourage you, again, this is your PowerPoint slide. Blow it up, print it out, use it with your families, friends, because if your friends are happy too, what's going to happen? It's going to impact your life. Yeah, yeah. So as we go to the next slide, Ty, proclaim your affirmation. So, you know, what is an affirmation? You know, I put up here, you know, some of these. Focus. You know, what do I want happen in my life? And I'm going to take yours, Catherine, because you said that some of the things that you wanted was a house, travel, what were husband, dog, job, and both to have jobs. You know, you said this is what I want. You know what I love about that? You didn't say that's not what I want. You know, so often we're like, well, I don't want that. No, I don't want that. But we don't define what we do want. We're focusing on the wrong thing. So when you work through the affirmations, that's the same thing as affirmation. Affirmations. Have you ever heard of them? Yeah, we do. We have them Sunday too. But it's proclaiming with emotion what you want. So I'm going to take yours, Catherine. I enjoy a loving family, having enough money to provide for the things in which we need, and traveling to fill in the blank. Anywhere but Westchester, Pennsylvania. And you say it. I actually put my affirmation, and you could just call it, you know, affirmation too, that's fine. That just goes with the book. And I put it beside my mirror. Put it beside my mirror. Why on earth did I put it beside my mirror in the vanity? Yeah, because you know what? When we wake up in the morning, what are some of the things that come into your mind? All the things that we have to do. I need to get the kids ready. I need to do that. Oh my gosh, I need to do this at work. Did I do that? I need to do that. Oh my gosh, I really don't want to go. Can I just go back to bed? Yeah, but it is. It speeds up as to task, not necessarily intention in what you want to attract back to your good life. Yeah, yeah, you do. You have to make a list, but it's how you make the list. And we'll sidetrack into that. You know, I have something that I just write down 5 things every day that I want to say I got done. 5 things, not a list of 30 things that I need to do by the end of the day. You set yourself up for failure. I also want to ask you to pay attention to what's called an interruption record. How many people might interrupt you? You're into a task and you get interrupted. Do you know, this has been proven, that to take you off that task, for you to get re-engaged at the level in which you were engaged takes 15 minutes to re-engage. You just burn time. Self-management. Stephen Covey, Stephen Covey, he has this thing called the time matrix. He doesn't believe in time management. I don't believe in time management. And you're like, really, Molly? I don't, because we are given 24 hours a day. It's just what it is. You know, you subtract the time it takes for you to get ready. Subtract the time that you're doing your commute. You subtract the time which you're at work. The list in which we make for ourselves is something that would be a 48-hour day. Well, no wonder we're miserable and unhappy and unfulfilled. It's how we set ourselves up for success. So just write down, for starters, those 5 things that you want to get done every day. You might get more done. You might get less. I've never gotten less done, because 5 things, you're going to say, these are the 5 things. So at the end of the day, you're playing a little thing with your mind so you stay in your heart. Because so often we just go back to the mind, go back to the mind. Another thing I would love for you to consider is, Ty, if we can do the next slide, that'd be awesome, is SMART goals. I'm going to take you back to high school. And some of you might be like, oh, I was sick on that day. And that's fine, you're getting it now. SMART goals. Yes, so we go back, I'm not smart enough. I heard that. You know what? You are now, because you know how to make SMART goals. SMART. S stands for what? Specific. M, measurable. Attainable. Relevant or reliable. It could be either. And the last one? Timely. So I could have said, you know what? I want to open 5 companies in 1 year. Yeah, okay, I'd be divorced. I'd probably have health issues. I'd be miserable, and I would be bankrupt, and God only knows. Well, God does know, but anyhow, I hate that expression, but anyhow. So it's those SMART goals that keep you centered on how you will remain successful. Successful. Put it against the test. You can say, I enjoy job, travel, but you need to say, I'm going to earn X amount of dollars to pay X amount of bills, so I have X amount left over to put X to what and X to go where. You get specific. I got specific like that, and to the day, I said in 5 years, I said, this is how much I'm going to be making, this is how much I'm going to be giving, and this is what I'm going to be doing. In 1 month, every single thing will hit. It's not magic, it's believing. So it's really looking at those goals. Or you know what? You know how many people actually even do goals? 10%. So hey, be that 90%. Be that 90%. And accountability partner. I talked about the 5-year goal. Make that out there. So the accountability, and that whole 5-year goal, you might be like, but I don't know exactly. It's okay. You usually come kind of close to it in that area. I didn't say I'm going to be an astronaut in 5 years. Actually, some people probably say I go to the moon sometimes, but I'm not going to be a physical astronaut. I'm not. But I looked at that 5-year goal, and I kind of hit. And it was more general. It was kind of broad. But I said I was going to inspire and encourage others to look inside and create their best life on a full-time basis. That's going to happen. So look at that. And that accountability partner, I'm going to challenge you with saying, who's that accountability partner? Tax season, we're in tax season, right? You're not going to go to your plumber to say, can you do my taxes, please? Right? No. Or let's make it more real. Your accountability partner, you're not going to go to somebody who's like, oh, that's okay. You can make up for what you didn't do another week. There's a time for nurture, but there's a time for also, come on. If I'm your accountability partner, I'm failing you. What do you need from me as your accountability partner? That's why coaches, I do lots of coaching. I have so many people that I coach, and I help them with that because they don't have people in their network that are truth tellers, that are, and believe me, I'm not a tyrant, I am Molly Sunshine about it, but they know. They know. So that card that you have on you have a couple different cards. This is an activity that I encourage you to do. Ty, can you go back 1 slide, please? Thank you. This is my affirmation card. It says determined. This is something that I hold to my core, that I'm determined. And when I fall off, I go back to this card and I put it in my wallet. And in the back of that card, I say, what are the thoughts that make me determined? What are my actions that show I'm determined? What are the words that I speak that make me show determination. Because if I don't have those three, I'm misaligned. That's like the book The Secret. Anybody read it? It put a lot of energy into thoughts and words, but not actions. You need all three. It's not like, oh, I want to win the lottery today, and I'm feeling called to go play the lottery today. Really? No. Thoughts, words, actions. So if we go 2 slides forward, Ty. 1, 2, thank you. You are on it. This is what I want you to look at. You need a plan for your success. You need to address, what do you need to eliminate? God bless you. You know, maybe you're having too much social media time. Maybe you're not having enough. Maybe those reality shows got you sucked in and you're like, oh my gosh, did I just spend 6 hours watching this? It was a marathon though. I treat it myself. Well, it's okay, but now you better not feel guilt for that 6 hours that you just did. So, you know, what do you need to delegate? You know, Ty has expectations in our house. Dan has expectations in our house. I have expectations in our house. That's what makes it work. And if something goes offline, we come back in a family meeting. What needs to shift? What needs to change? And it's not, you didn't do that. No. It's okay. This is what I saw. You're talking behaviors, not emotion. You know, do we need to change anything? What do you think needs to shift? Those are all questions, not statements. I've noticed that we as women are very good at statements. Very good. You know, and very good at assuming or presuming. But maybe if we can just see how we can put things in questions so that we're not talking, it's helping others that you're trying to work with grow. And that's really what you're doing. You're helping yourself grow. So what do you need to delegate? What do you need to eliminate? Proactivity. This is where you'll get out of your happy messes more. We would rush around trying to get to church on Sunday, and it's a mess. It's like, you know, I'm like, okay, and Dan's like, come on, we need to leave in 5 minutes. You know, it's those kind of things. That's happy messes. But what can we do productively to try to eliminate that so we don't get to church and say, hey, I have something to say for my sins. I just yelled at my husband, like, leave me alone. I need 5 more minutes. Think about it. I mean, I did an over-exaggeration. But this is really step 5. You know, so we cleared the clutter. We looked at the affirmation. We looked at how we can make that true in our life. We looked at what that good life looks like. We are looking at some actions that we can take that support the good life. We're looking for our alpha accountability partner. You have the golden nuggets. It's not ironic that I put it on yellow. It's golden nuggets. Now cash in and tap in. So if we go to the next slide there, Ty Guy. We need to celebrate, and it's time to get going. What are some things that you do to celebrate life? Ice cream. Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream, right? Darn straight, Marilyn. I tell you, we need to do sidebar conversations. You're right up my alley. What else? What's that?
We always have family celebrations together. We get together, and our son is a wonderful cook, and he usually does something else.
So everybody is gonna, what's your name? Sarah. So everybody's going to go over to Sarah to check out how her son's cooking is, right? But it's those family traditions. Do you have those traditions? Do you want to add more traditions? What do the traditions look like? Guess what? You Googled family traditions, you're going to get tons of results. And you're like, oh, that feels like us. That feels like us. You know, it might be every year you're going to do the one-word canvases. You know, over 10 years, it's going to cover our whole wall. And we'll look back and say, darn right, I remember that year. as you continue to live. Living the good life is living in the moment, but it's also planning for what that good life you want it to look like. Life's hard. But you have those folks and your tools now to look back on. You know, I have in that packet, and Eileen, it's a pink sheet. It's called the 10 Ways to Love. And there, again, it's not ironic that I just found this 2 days ago. I'm supposed to be giving it to you. And I know a few of you don't have that pink sheet, you'll get it. It'll be white though, because you're going to print it out in your printer. But it's those things. And I also have a tool in there about happiness. What is happiness? Because you need to define it, and it's empowering that worksheet. Because if we're not learning, we're not growing. If we're not searching, we're really not living that good life. It's not easy. But when you share your ups and downs, it can have a good old time. I want to say thank you for opening your hearts for this hour. If you have any questions, I've given you a lot to think about. I mean, this truly is usually a 3-hour workshop, so it is, you got a lot at one time. Do you have any questions that you would like to ask of me? Yes.
What are some ideas that you could do with those, that list of like accountability, brilliant, creative? How can you work with that?
Absolutely. If you find the character trait accountability important, I'm just going to use that one, Carol, because you threw that one out. That's where you say, hey, if you tell your child, you know, I'll be there in 1 minute, and you go back in 5 minutes, are you being accountable? So at the end of the day, you use that to check yourself, how it brings conscious awareness to your behaviors. Did that answer your question? Yeah. Yes. Because that, and also that you think are important to your life. Because, you know, Lily might be like, yeah, that's not as important to me. Or that accountability thing. I'm like, yeah, I'm accountable for my own behaviors, but that might not be, I might not have 50 people who are counting on me. You know, that might be more, and it might change. But that's why it's blank like that. God bless. That's why it's blank, so you can continue to grow and learn. And God bless you when you're like, yeah, I mastered this for 21 days. If you do it for 21 days, you know what happens at that point? Bam! That is the magic number for a habit forming. It takes 21 days to form a habit, good or bad. You fall off the bandwagon, forgive yourself, please. Get back on. Remember, Ben Franklin, to his dying day, he still had one he was working on. So I want to say thank you all for having me. I do have all my books over here, and I have some, if you're being called to help with some change, organization, time management, those kind of things, I have some resources there as well. If you want to receive more of information on my events that I do have that are uplifting like this, I'll pass around this that you can put it in. And if do you have, it's all good. If you have a business card, you can just throw it in there too, because I'd love to at the end, they can pull out somebody to win one of my books. So if you want to win as well, you can do that too. So and you can use your card. You have an extra card on you. You have 2 little cards. That's what the other card is for if you don't have a business card. So thank you very much for having me, and I'll turn the show over to Alice.